Yeah, breaking news is now that Jasmine Crockett, fugitive ghetto bodyguard, smoked by SWAT after trying to run away. So let's go ahead and get this. This has been 9 hours ago, so let's go ahead and get into the video, shall we?
We are. They want to try to act like we are the outsiders, but the last time I checked, we ain't no colonizers. The last time I checked, they took us from our homeland. But this is the only home that we know. But my homeboy said, listen, I'ma be in your city. Come out on stage. You gotta be here. And I was like, I may be in Houston, cause Oak Cliff, where you at? The Cliff know who I am, right? DeSoto, where you at? Yeah. GP, where you at? All right, so the point is, Arlington. I know y'all in here, right? I know y'all know who I am, and I know that y'all know that I'm about this life.
These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night. Police say he was chased into a hospital parking garage where he barricaded himself inside a vehicle before he was forced out by tear gas and pulled a gun on officers.
Boy. So we got to talk about a bombshell story involving the ghetto Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who is not going to be a Congresswoman for much longer, right? Her career is over after losing to James Talarico in the Democrat primary. Humiliating, totally embarrassing.
Y'all see this? Doesn't this look very reminiscent of what we saw when Kamala didn't get elected? White, Latino, and Asian people. Y'all are the problem, and that's just the reality. And the Latinos and the Asians, this is exactly why we ain't doing that POC shit no more. Because when push comes to shove, y'all love our culture, but when push comes to shove, y'all vote in a line with the white folks. So y'all can stay over there with them. Stop using our culture. Stop trying to act like y'all part of it. All of y'all. I don't want to see no K-pop, no hip-hop dancing from no Asian people. I don't want to see no Latinos over here with their, but we all the Mino blacks. But then y'all want to be bumping hip-hop music. We're done. At this point, this is exactly why black people are saying what we're saying. Because when push comes to shove, the numbers show. Voting is statistics, y'all. That's what I think what a lot of y'all ain't getting. Voting is a statistic. The way that you vote is counted as a statistic, and that's how we get numbers. So you can't say it ain't what it is when the numbers show what it is. The data shows. And this is exactly why you see all the black people on the internet saying, F this, we're done. We did what we're supposed to do, because just like Kamala had, we had the 92% of black women. You had, I think it was 80 some odd percent of black men. Overall, with the blacks, 93% for Jasmine. We always do what needs to be done, and we do it for everybody else. We don't just pick the people because we like them. We pick them because they're the best. And every time we tell you, just like we told you to vote for Kamala and you didn't listen, and now y'all be on this internet crying about how shit is and crying about your kids going off to war, but y'all don't listen. And then you got another chance again with Jasmine, and you did the same shit. So y'all clearly don't want to learn. So y'all, good luck to you. We're done.
And we have another pretty embarrassing story for the ghetto Congresswoman that we have to talk about here today, because apparently her bodyguard has been smoked by police, smoked by the SWAT team in Dallas after having a run-in with police. Okay, he was a fugitive, and I'm assuming he tried to get away, and he pointed his gun at police while trying to get away in a parking garage, and he got smoked. So I want to talk about it because it seems as if the ghetto Congresswoman is hiring criminals in order to protect her. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this clip.
Just want to get you now to a major story unfolding. This one involves a man who was killed by Dallas police earlier this week outside of Children's Medical Center. Sources say the man who was fatally shot by SWAT actually ran a business placing law enforcement officers in off-duty jobs, and apparently he was also part of the security detail for Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Our JD Miles tonight investigating how he apparently, using aliases, was able to become such a prominent figure in the public safety community.
To North Texas law enforcement officers and U.S. Capitol Police, he was known as Mike King, but sources tell us that's not the name of the man shot and killed by Dallas police on Wednesday night during an investigation into his alleged double life as a suspected criminal, also working as a security officer for a local U.S. Congresswoman. These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night. Police say he was chased into a hospital parking garage where he barricaded himself inside a vehicle before he was forced out by tear gas and pulled a gun on officers. Sources say he was wanted for impersonating a law enforcement officer. Sources say he claimed to be one while operating a business called Off-Duty Police Services, an online platform to connect North Texas law enforcement officers with off-duty jobs. Authorities have yet to reveal King's real name, but sources also tell us King oversaw a team of security officers at several downtown Dallas hotels and at his own church. Sources say King drove a replica undercover law enforcement vehicle with license plates stolen from vehicles outside military offices.
Wow.
His background, which sources say includes a criminal history, raises serious questions about how he was able to oversee extra jobs for police officers as well as obtain such a high-level security position for a sitting member of Congress. Documents obtained by CBS News Texas show a person named Mike King receiving payments for security services from Crockett as recently as last year. We have contacted Congresswoman Crockett's office, and for now, they are declining to answer questions, as is the Dallas Police Department. JD Miles, CBS News Texas.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ghetto congresswoman has been missing in action for a long time now. Since her embarrassing loss to James Talarico, she hasn't really had much to say, right? So I don't expect for her to have much to say about this. Okay, but this is a pretty wild story because, you know, it does bring up the question of how does somebody with a criminal history like this get hired by Jasmine Crockett? Well, I think the answer is obvious, right? Let's keep it 100, okay? Didn't Cori Bush, the other ghetto congresswoman that lost her job too, was she like sleeping with her bodyguard or something and paying them campaign funds? Okay,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, this is par for the course when it comes to some of these soul sisters, man. It's par for the course, okay? So I'm not surprised. Let's read here. A Texas fugitive who allegedly worked as a security guard for Representative Jasmine Crockett was killed in a standoff with a Dallas SWAT team Wednesday night. The suspect, who went by several aliases, including Mike King, was wanted for impersonating a law enforcement officer and had claimed to be one while recruiting for his business that places off-duty cops with side jobs. CBS News Texas reported. This guy was a whole scammer, right? Running around telling people he's a law enforcement officer when he wasn't, right? And he was using that in order to promote his business, to recruit for his business, and dude was making money, right?
Yeah.
King was being tracked by the Dallas Police Department Fugitive Unit Wednesday night when he barricaded himself inside a car in the parking garage at Children's Medical Center, Dallas, at around 11:40 p.m., officials said at a press conference Thursday morning. King was forced out of the car by tear gas and aimed a gun at the heavily armed police, who fired at the armed suspect. The wanted fugitive was struck by the gunfire and pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities have yet to release his real name. King had worked on Crockett's detail while she was in both Washington, D.C. and Texas, including when she appeared at campaign events for her primary run for the Democratic Senate nomination, which she eventually lost to candidate James Talarico, CBS reported. Video footage shared by the outlet captured 44-year-old Democrat walking beside her towering security guard, who had been living a double life as a crime boss, misquandering as a cop. King had run the online website Off Duty Police Services while allegedly driving a replica undercover cop car with stolen license plates from a military recruiting office. Yeah, so the ghetto congresswoman had recently paid this guy. And yeah, I mean, this is, again, par for the course. Am I really surprised? Not really. Okay, Jasmine Crockett hiring criminals? Not surprised, right? For a variety of reasons. She probably didn't care. Okay, she probably likes to associate herself with these type of people. And also on top of that, she was probably careless, right? Careless, didn't do much of a background check. Oh, he black, right? He black, so therefore, he should be my security detail. I don't know, right? What I do know is that Jasmine Crockett has been silent, right? She's been silent. She hasn't said much since her loss, okay? Usually she has a whole lot to say, right? But, you know, recently she hasn't really said much, right? Let's keep it that way, right? Let's keep it that way. The less that we hear from her, the better. An election loss is all it took to shut Jasmine Crockett up for her to realize that her mouth is a problem. So yeah, we haven't heard from her. Okay, we're probably not going to hear from her. We're definitely not going to hear from her on this bodyguard situation. Why is it that you hired a criminal, a career criminal, to be your bodyguard? Did you vet, right? Like, are you in bed with this guy, right? Like, what's going on here? Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more funny business going down, or there was some funny business going down between Jasmine Crockett and her bodyguard. But I don't know, right? I'm just saying that we haven't heard much from her since she lost, and I don't really expect to hear too much. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.